Hi, I wanted to make this video because I've been thinking. And this time I've been thinking about my YouTube channel. So the reason I've been thinking about my YouTube channel is because it's been just about 6 months since I started the channel. So it seemed like a good time to have a think about how it's been going, what the experience has been like for me, and whether I want to carry on doing what I've been doing or if I want to make some changes. So I'll start with a bit of background about how and why I got started, and then I'll tell you about some of the various ups and downs that seem to come with having a YouTube channel, and then I'll have a quick think about the future of the channel. So I launched this channel back in October last year, 2025, after having thought about it for a year or two before that. And I think in a way it's something that had kind of been building in me for a few years. Just the feeling that I've got a lot of things I want to talk about and I wasn't sure who wanted to hear them. And the other thing was just a general enjoyment of YouTube. I really like how it gives a platform to regular people to share stories and talk about things that interest them. And I also really like how it can connect people from different walks of life or different countries who never would have met in real life. So gradually those two things started to combine and form an idea in my head. I knew I had a lot I wanted to say, and I knew I enjoyed listening to stories from other people on YouTube. I was mostly watching travel and trip reports, but still you get to know the person and hear their stories. And that was the thing that I liked the most, not just the scenery and the suggestions of where to go next. So it was watching other people's videos that made me wonder what it would feel like to be the one who was putting out the videos and sharing their stories. So I knew I was curious about starting a channel, but I had no idea what I could make my channel about. I'm not an expert in anything, my life isn't especially exciting, and I don't have any subjects that I'd want to talk about forever. But I do like sharing stories with people. So I thought about vlogging my daily walks and just doing some chat with it. But I was too embarrassed to film myself with other people around. And I thought about doing trip reports from places I visited, but that came with the same problem. I felt embarrassed getting my camera out and talking to it in public. So I do give credit to anyone who does that, because to me it's not easy. So I would quite like to get over that and maybe try it again one day, but for now, recording videos at home seems like the best option for me. So I decided to record at home, but what would I talk about? I'd seen the advice that you should pick a subject that you really enjoy talking about and won't get bored of, but I couldn't think of any that fit that description. I'm interested in lots of different subjects and I didn't fancy focusing on only one of them. And I know that I get interested in new things all the time. But the advice I kept seeing was to pick a subject and then to really lock in on that subject to help the YouTube algorithm to be sure who to show your videos to. And I could see why that's good advice, especially if you're hoping to turn your subject into a business. But choosing only one subject just didn't appeal to me enough, so I decided not to take that advice. So I knew in advance that by making my videos a bit random, I'd be confusing the algorithm. But I decided that I was willing to take that risk. Because I'm on YouTube really looking for an experience rather than a business. So although I do want people to watch my videos so that I can get that experience, I can't expect the algorithm to be sure who to show my videos to. And to be honest, I wouldn't know who to show my videos to either. I think I'm hoping to find an audience who enjoy the slightly random nature of my content and will maybe be wondering what might be coming next. And I also hope to find people who have a similar outlook on life as I do, who like thinking about things but also who like to be positive and kind and try to look on the bright side of life. And a sense of humour is also a bonus. I really like it when people make jokes with me in the comments. I do have some subjects that come up a bit more regularly, like neurodiversity traits and retirement planning, because those are both subjects that I think about quite a lot. So I hope to find an audience who enjoy those subjects too. But people can either watch or not watch, depending on what they're interested in. And that's one of the things actually that I really like about it, that there's no obligation, by anyone. I don't have to make a video if I don't want to, but if I do, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. And my videos have already found their way to some really nice people who leave encouraging comments or share their own experiences. So something seems to be working, even if I am confusing the algorithm. I mean, it does seem to push some of my videos to a wider audience, but I'm not sure why it chooses some and not others. I'm even quite glad that it doesn't push all of them, because things can get a bit intense when more people start watching. And if my channel is going to grow bigger, I think I'd rather it happened quite slowly so that I can get used to how it feels when more people start watching and commenting. I do actually get contacted by quite a lot of people who say that they want to help me to get my videos to reach more people by improving how searchable they are. But I just don't imagine that people are searching for my type of videos because I'm not offering a specific subject. I'd rather just be patient and than to risk attracting the wrong type of audience who expect a certain content and then get disappointed. And I do seem to pick up a few more people with each video, and that's fine with me. I'm not in any hurry, and I think it will take a bit of magic to find the right audience for my videos, and luckily I believe in magic, so I think that will be more likely to help me than getting the keywords right. And I did make a video about coincidences, and I had a few responses to say that there's no such thing as a coincidence. So if those people are right, then it will be no coincidence what happens to my channel and which people find my videos. And the people watching at the moment leave thoughtful comments and are generous enough to share details about their own experiences, or they've pointed me in the direction of other things that I might be interested to learn about, and I really appreciate that. When I post a video about a subject, it's because I'm genuinely interested in it, so I really enjoy it when other people show an interest too. I have had a few more challenging comments, and those tend to be on videos that YouTube decides to push out to more people. And I know I do sometimes pick subjects that people can have strong opinions about, so it does feel a little bit risky at times, but I think it's worth it for all the interesting perspectives that get shared. And I don't mind a challenging comment if it's done respectfully, which it mostly always is. And anything unpleasant or not in the spirit of a discussion, I tend to just leave. I know the internet can be a strange place, but I've found it's also full of thoughtful, interesting, generous and funny people, and I really like that some of those people choose to comment on my videos. And it encourages me to leave comments on other people's videos because I know how good it feels to get that interaction. And I said I started doing this for the experience, and the interaction with other people really is the experience, and it's the thing that encourages me to keep going. And I've been consistent now in uploading 2 videos a week for the last 6 months. I might decide to drop back to 1 a week in the future, especially if they get more popular and generate a lot of comments, but I'll cross that bridge if I come to it. I try to record a few videos in advance so that I can keep at least a couple of weeks ahead of myself, so that I'm not worrying at the last minute that I don't have any videos ready. And I also keep a list of ideas that come into my mind so that I can decide whether or not I find them interesting enough to want to make a video about. Sometimes I start planning what I want to say and then I realise that I'm not interested enough in the subject to make a whole video about it. So then I just scrap the idea. And I did do that recently with the idea of superstitions, because I noticed that we had 2 months in a row that had a Friday the 13th, and I thought that sounded interesting. But when I started trying to put some ideas together for a video, I realised there wasn't really much more to it than that for me. I'm not really a superstitious person, so maybe that's why it didn't really capture my imagination. So that's really how I work on my videos. I get an idea and I test it out to see if I find it interesting or not. And the interesting ones go forward to a video and the others get binned. And if I have to bin a few in a row, then I start to worry that I'm running out of good subjects. But then generally something else comes along that does catch my interest and then I'm off again. It is quite time consuming because I can easily lose a couple of hours or more when I'm working on a subject. But it's a fun new hobby for me and I like giving my time to it. So what's next for my channel? Well, I'm quite happy with how things are going, so I think I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep my videos a bit shorter where I can, because when they were getting more towards 20 minutes, it seemed less likely that people will watch to the end. And if I've got a lot to say on a subject, I could always make it into 2 videos instead. I'm still enjoying the unpredictability of it, because you really never know what's going to happen after you post a video and how people will react to the content. And sometimes when I'm making a video I get quite excited because I start thinking, this seems a good one. And then I'm really interested to see what happens when I actually put it out. And it is fun when the number of views starts really going up, but then it can be a bit of a relief when it starts to calm down again, especially if the comments are arriving faster than I can keep up with. And then of course there's always a chance that one of your videos could go viral, so that adds another layer of excitement, a bit like playing the lottery. I always thought it sounded fun, but now I've had a bit more experience, part of me thinks that it might not be quite as fun as it sounds, but if I ever find out, I will let you know. So I hope that when new people do find my channel, they might go back and watch some of my previous videos, because I did put a lot of care into them and they're mostly not things that go out of date, apart from maybe the Christmas one. But maybe I'll just relaunch some of them at some point in the future, because I've noticed other people doing that, and I'll maybe see what happens next time. So I'd better wrap up there, because I said I'm trying to stick to shorter videos. So that's the story so far about my channel. And if you've made it this far, then thank you. I appreciate anyone who watches, and if you want to leave a comment, I will happily reply. So I hope you've taken something useful from this video, but I think that's all for this time. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.